So, good morning to all. Today, we are going to see the relationship between arts, maths, science, and technology. Now, when it comes to engineering, you may be wondering, what am I going to talk about art? In what way is art, related to engineering? But let me first make it clear what is art. Art is a wide range of human activities, okay, that involve creative imagination. So it involves a kind of creative imagination, and it is used to express. What is it used to express? It is expressing technical proficiency in the first place, and it is expressing beauty, emotional power, and conceptual ideas. So when we want to express beauty, I think we can look at this a particular image. So this image represents all of these things. It represents the professional technical proficiency. See how it has been drawn. There is no outlier, or there is nothing that we can find which is wrong in this image, or which is not drawn properly, which is out of line. These lines are so much well aligned, so we can find proficiency in the diagram. At the same time, just looking at the diagram, we can see that the diagram is very, or the picture is very beautiful, and it has an emotional power, the lightings and other things. For some people, these lights may represent a kind of brightness. All right. For others, it may represent the light getting reflected on the road, or reflected on this place, whichever place it is. There seems to be some water in this place. So it might represent a kind of an emotional power. Some emotions will be involved, like looking at the same picture, different people will think in different ways. So my emotions looking at this picture will be something like this. There is a lighting, there is so much of brightness, and the brightness is getting reflected down as well. Okay. For others, it may represent some other kind of an emotion, and at the same time it is also representing some concept. There has to be a concept. There are trees, there are so many trees there, and there's a path, somebody is walking on the path, and there are lights everywhere. The lights are getting reflected, so on and so forth. So it will represent some concept. So that is the power of art. Art makes everyone think in different way, and at the same time, the art has to be technically proficient, otherwise it will not be appealing, and it will not convey its meaning. So what are the three classical branches of visual art? The first one is painting. As you can see in this diagram, it is a clear-cut painting. The second one is sculpture. This is a very beautiful sculpture. And the third one is an architecture. So we all know, we have all seen buildings that have very beautiful and very good architectures. These are the three different branches of visual art. And what is creative art defined as? So creative art is nothing but it is media, genre, style, and form. So this is creative art. Okay. So now let's see what's an art form. What's meant by art form? Art form is a very simple concept. Like leave the appealing nature of art. Don't consider the appealing. Don't consider the emotions involved, and don't consider the art as a whole. What is the form of that art? For that, we have to cut, or we have to dissect the art into its elements. So when you dissect an art into its elements, what are the things that are mainly present? So what is the color? What is the contour? How many contours are present? What is the dimension? Which medium is used? And what's the melody? What is there a space, texture? And if there is a space, what's the value? How much space is there between two lines? And what is the value of the texture that we have provided? So these are all the different elements that are composed of art form. And form also includes visual design principles. How is the line arranged? How are the boxes arranged? Whether the lines are slanting lines or straight lines, sleeping lines, so on and so forth. What is the balance? How much contrast is there? So usually when you want to enhance your own picture, what do? We increase, most of the time we increase the contrast. Then what's the emphasis? Which particular part is emphasized, that causes you to appreciate the art. Harmony, proportion, what is the proportion at which different colors should be mixed, different lines should be mixed, or collaborative art, that is. And then what is the proximity, and what is the rhythm. Now, in general, there are three schools of philosophy regarding art, which are form, content, and context. So, we will see these things in detail. So, okay, now we will start with the functions of art. Now, every one of us would agree to the fact that art has been an important element throughout the history, isn't it? Now, for example, when you look at a structure or civil structure which is constructed by a civil engineer, how do we say that the building looks good, the infrastructure is so good? That is because art has been utilized there. The use of art has been done there to enhance a normal looking building into a beautiful infrastructure, or a building with a beautiful infrastructure, surroundings, and other things. So mm, we cannot quantify art to a single concept. Like, I cannot say the art is okay in building, you can apply art. We cannot say that. So and at the same time, can we call it as vague, like, oh, I don't understand where art comes? Everywhere you observe, everything you observe, even in engineering, art plays a very important role. Some of the functions, what are the functions of art? Art has two different functions. Some are motivated functions and some are non-motivated functions. So what is the meaning of this motivated function, and what is the meaning of non-motivated function? We will start with non-motivated function. So what is a non-motivated purpose of art? As we see, the non-motivated purpose of art are integral to being human, transcend the individual, and or do not fulfill a specific external purpose. So that is, some non-motivated functions of art are not related to business. It is not involving any kind of commercial purpose. It is just for your happiness, for the happiness of somebody. Art is used for a superior power, to demonstrate or to obey a particular superior power which is superior to us. For that we use art. So these things do not have any commercial purpose, and they are the non-motivated function. And art is something humans can do by their very nature. Every one of us can do, or every one of us can understand art, and we can use art in our day-to-day life. It is not required that it has to be used only for commercial purpose. Okay, so that is non-motivated function of art. We have seen the forms of art. We have seen how art is important in every field, including engineering. And now next class we will see the non-motivated functions of art with some examples, and we will move ahead. Thank you.